Welcome to video number 4 of our series of our Southwest trip, fall of 2024. I don't know if we should call these a vlog or a podcast. It's kind of a combination, but thank you for watching. The highlight this week is we got to do some sightseeing and some hiking. I'm Jendi. My husband Joe and I have entered a new season of life with our 3 kids mostly out of the nest. We're grateful to be representatives for a nonprofit Bible publishing ministry, so we spend a lot of time traveling to churches, sharing all the amazing things God is doing through this ministry, and raising the support we need.
Last Sunday, we were at Living Waters Baptist Church in Camp Verde, Arizona, which is a little bit south of Flagstaff, a little bit lower elevation than some of the other places, probably about 4,100 feet, something like that. And very beautiful spot. We could see a lot of the mountains behind us. I got a couple cool sunset pictures. Couldn't quite get a good sunrise, even though I tried. Boy, said I was crazy for that. On that Sunday, we were able to present in the morning to them, share the ministry, show the video, all the good stuff. I preached in the evening and had a good time with them at lunch. We went to Pastor Sondergaard's house. The GPS took us kind of a scenic way because their house is built on the back of one of the mountains.
Amazing views.
Yeah, I had to use 4-wheel drive to get up the gravel drive coming in the back way, but I said, we'll go for it. We'll give it a try. And I was glad the camper wasn't behind us because that would have been very interesting to do that. But and then even leaving on the concrete side going up, it's very steep. I don't think we got any video footage of that. Sorry. But
I was hanging on.
But it was a great time with them. Got to meet them. Their kids were a blast. Had a lot of fun with them, telling jokes, playing games. Yeah, it was a great church, great opportunity.
And then Monday, we had to get some laundry done. So we went into town and found a laundromat. We have a bag of quarters with us, but this one actually took a card, but it was also pretty expensive. But we needed to do some laundry, so we got that done. And then that evening, they were having a ladies' Bible study at the church, so I was super happy to be able to be a part of that. We also went to the post office, so I love to send postcards to my kids and our moms, sometimes some friends, and postcard stamps are really hard to come by lately. I don't know, I went to Oshkosh before we left. He only had 4, so I used them up right away, and then the next time we stopped in Kansas on the way down, she didn't have any. She just ran them through a machine, and then I think this next one was in Arizona, and he's like, no, you can use 2 of these school buses that will equal 1 postcard stamp. So that's what I have. So it's kind of weird, but I don't know what's up with postcard stamps. I love to find postcards and send them. So anyhow, that was Monday.
Tuesday, we packed up and headed to Red Rock area of New Mexico. It was a city park there, had excellent Wi-Fi. It was pretty quiet for the most part, absolutely gorgeous views. Took lots of pictures. It was just
nice temperature weather.
The weather was nice. Yes, it was nice temperature right off the bat. Didn't really need to run the air conditioning. A little bit of the heat in the morning, take the chill off, but it was really nice. We noticed there were several hiking trails around that area.
Wednesday morning, we headed out on the hike. It's Church Rock. We have pictures facing Church Rock, and then when we got farther out, back to where our camper is. It was a little scary on parts.
Yes, it was, because in the morning, there's a little bit of moisture on the rock. Not a lot, because it is dry in New Mexico. And some of the area was just kind of smooth rock with a little notch cut into the rock for you to walk around, like a little goat trail.
Yeah. So we just kind of went back 30 minutes and then 30 minutes out just so we know we could get going, because then we did travel to Rio Rancho, New Mexico that day. As we've traveled in the Southwest, we have noticed trains and train tracks, like very, very long trains with tracks that just go and go and go and go straight. And they have 2 boxes stacked on the train. So it's just an interesting thing that we've noticed. It's that we don't see as much in the North Midwest or Northeast.
I think the trains are over a mile long each, and they're. The other thing I had noticed after the last couple of stops where we had to use our air conditioning was the electric plug, the end of the cord for the camper, the main service, was getting kind of loose and melted and not looking healthy. I kept trying to clean the prongs on the plug and limp it along, but then finally I told her we got to look for one. And we stopped a couple places, didn't find one, told us there's an Ace Hardware store. There wasn't one there. And, and then we were getting ready to go in. We were just outside of Albuquerque, getting ready to head into Rio Rancho, and I saw a Home Depot, and I said, "All right, I know I can at least get something to get us through." So we have something now on the back of the camper.
Here goes the whole truck and trailer into this Home Depot in Albuquerque, and back, and he drove it in, drove it out.
Yeah, well, there were a couple of Home Depot delivery trucks already in the back, so I kind of could fit on along them and went in and out pretty quick. There was lots of police and security there, which was interesting. And there was a lot. She stayed in the truck. She missed out. There was a lot of succulent and desert arid plants. It was a long row of them. I made sure I took a picture to send it to her.
To rub it in.
And then we got to the church there in Rio Rancho, Mesa Baptist. And I changed out the plug. Yes, they had full hookup there in between buildings, which was kind of nice, tucked out of the way. And had the plug changed out, and everything's been working good.
And then we met up with the parents of a friend of ours. So people that we worked alongside in New York, Jim and Don Johnson, her mom and dad are in New Mexico in Rio Rancho. So we had met them in New York, and this is their church, and they gave us such a warm welcome. We were so glad to see them. And it was the church's mission conference week. So they invited us to the meal on Wednesday night, and Thursday night we got to eat with them. The church is very friendly, and we enjoyed just watching a mission conference.
And then Thursday morning, the Wrights came and picked us up at the church. And we went up to the top of the Sandias Mountains, which is right across from the church, but you have to drive over an hour to get there and quite a ways up the hill. It's over 10,000 feet elevation.
Yeah.
But when you're there, you can get almost a 360-degree view from the top of it, except for the big radio and TV towers that are up there kind of blocking some of the view. But still absolutely gorgeous view just to look out over God's creation.
So windy.
But very windy, yes.
But good. We had good, they said it was a good day to see out. The clouds weren't too bad.
Yes, it was the least amount. It wasn't as hazy as it normally was because you could see probably the full 100 miles that they say you could.
Yeah, it's really cool. And then they also fed us some lunch that the Wrights did, and then we had supper at the church. We got fed very well at Rio Rancho. And then Friday we traveled to Dalhart, Texas. There's a farmer that we actually met in Upper Michigan that invited us to stop by anytime. And so we did.
You're going through Dalhart, Texas. Well, there's not very often you go through Dalhart, Texas, unless you're headed southwest.
Yeah. He had electricity and water there that we could use. And when we got there, he gave us a tour and said to come on out. And then we got to ride in, like you rode in the combine, and mine was
tractor pulling the grain cart. Yeah.
Yeah. With Mrs. Lidster. So I got to learn a bunch about, what do you call it?
Harvesting the corn.
Harvesting. I got to learn about harvesting the corn. What it was. I'm tired. And then Mrs. Lidster is doing the chores for her daughter's family because they are out of town. So they have chickens, dogs, horses, cows, and there was a cat that caught a mouse. But we went that night and the dogs had been let out to run and they were not around, and she was nervous about that. And I agree. We kind of wanted to make sure they're okay. So we got on the Ranger and drove around. Finally saw one coming out of the field and kind of herded it home. And then the other one came. And then again, that Saturday morning at 8 a.m., her and I went. So Saturday, I worked cattle on a ranch in Texas, but we drove around and had to look at the tags in the calves' ears to check them off, make sure they were all okay, check on the pregnant mamas. That was fun to do in Texas.
And Friday night, we got the other fun part. We got to go to Texas, my fun part. After we're waiting for them to find the horses, find the dogs that night. I got a quick tour of Dalhart from Wayne Lidster, and we looked at different things. He showed me all around the town, and then we waited at the barbecue for them. We went to a Texas barbecue, authentic one. Had excellent rib platter. Yeah.
Smoked ribs.
Yes.
Which you need to learn how to do.
Yes. I don't know if I can do them as good as I can in Texas. I'm not a big rib fan, but I can eat ribs that are made like that. After she did all that hard ranch work.
Out in the cold. It was getting cold that night.
She didn't have her jacket either.
She let me borrow one of her granddaughters.
The temperature dropped quickly. It went from about 70 to 40 some degrees within an hour or so.
Yeah.
Cold front moved in.
And Saturday we headed out and we left Texas. Is that the day we passed the sign and said we left the reservation?
That was one of the times. We left a lot of reservations. Saturday, yes. Then we headed to Kansas.
And we will tell you more about that in our next video. Thank you so much for watching. We'd love to hear from you. If you have comments or questions, just leave them below. And hope you have a great week.
Yeehaw.